Hey you guys, it's me, Tammy Richmond, your Kingdom Girl, and we are here in the home of Darlene Greene doing what we promised you, being a solution one problem at a time. Unfortunately, the solution that we're being today is the solution to domestic violence. And we are going to take the journey through some stories and situations that had proven to be tragic, but at the end, triumph. Come on, visit with us with Darlene Greene. I'm here with Darlene Greene. Hi, Darlene.
Hi.
And I know I said off camera, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to sit and glean from the information, the wealth of information that you have in reference to domestic abuse. We're here sitting in the office/living room.
Yeah.
Multitasking, Darlene Greene, as I said. And she is the founder of Ina
Mae Greene Foundation.
Ina Mae Greene Foundation. Mm-hmm. And not only is she the founder of Ina Mae Greene Foundation, she's a passionate founder. And we're going to delve into the passion and the reason that this foundation has been established.
Exactly.
Darlene.
The Ina Mae Greene Foundation, for my sisters. I added the for my sisters because I want the world to know that we're not just talking about black women or white women, all women who are victims of domestic violence. Ina Mae was my baby sister. She was shot to death by the father of her two sons on her 30th birthday. She was 30 years old for 8 minutes. And my family was devastated by that. We've never been the same. The relationship was violent. The whole relationship was violent and abusive, but we never thought he would actually kill her.
They were together for 2 years?
They were together, actually, total of 3 years.
Total of 3 years.
Living together 2 years.
Okay. Okay. Never married.
Never married.
Father of two sons.
Two sons. They had 2 sons together.
Okay. And I want to give these dynamics because 2 years, going on 3 years, that is a period of time, but it's still a short period of time.
Yeah. It really is.
It really is, and to see the dynamics that go on in such a short period of time.
Exactly.
So 2 children, a total of 4 children.
She had 2 girls before.
Okay.
And they lived in the house with his family. His family, his parents, his siblings, they lived on the first floor, and my sister and her family with him lived on the second floor. And the relationship was turbulent. You know, every weekend, I got to be a thing at our house where we were deciding between my other siblings and I, who would be the one to go pick Ina up this weekend? Okay. You know, because you know they're fighting. Right. Every Friday, it was a ritual. Whose turn is it to go pick her up? Yeah.
And so the pickup meant that she was leaving her house and coming
to one of us because they were fighting.
Okay.
And it was vicious and it was ugly. And the thing about us, like a lot of families, we don't take it as serious as we should.
Right.
We don't really believe it's going to reach that level where it will actually result in her being murdered. And I say murder because she wasn't killed, she wasn't hit by a bus, you know, she didn't fall down the stairs. She was shot to death by the father of her children. She was murdered. And he beat her brutally before he shot her. So it wasn't an accident. It wasn't by mistake. It was part of that controlling, that dynamic of that violent relationship.
And we're going to get into some of the signs of that controlling the dynamics of a violent relationship. But I want to stay with the point that you said that his parents lived downstairs from them.
Exactly.
And it was a ritual every Friday. Your family,
my family,
was going to go pick your sister up. And so this is in the city of Chicago. So like if you know anything about Chicago housing, it is a one house.
Right.
With a single family household downstairs, basement downstairs.
Call it 2 flats.
Call it 2 flats, exactly.
Right.
And so the walls are not that thick.
Oh, no.
No.
They could hear it.
They can hear it. And so, in a prior conversation we were having, I wanted to make sure of the fact that his family was aware that domestic abuse was taking place.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so that's important to me, and I just want to take this moment for any person that is the abuser. If you are a family member of the abuser, the person that is abusing, male or female, because it's either or. However, there's more cases with women. It can happen.
It can happen.
Okay. And so I just want to be fair with that.
Oh, yeah.
But if you are the family member of the abuser, you're right downstairs. You're hearing the screams. You're seeing the family come on Fridays. You're seeing the ritual. You're hearing the children.
Absolutely.
We're just going to just like sort of plead with you to just step up and just do the right thing. Just be an advocate for the right thing.
Exactly.
Don't take a side, right?
Exactly.
Just take the side of right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because the kids are involved and they are being exposed and they're hurting because of this thing. And what we like to also say to the community, relationship violence and domestic violence is not about men versus women.
Okay.
It's about living with fear and pain versus living in peace. So we want families to be at peace, and the children are always affected by violence, and they're affected long term. They're not learning in school. They're not sleeping at night,
right?
Because they're afraid of what's going on
Absolutely.
in their parents' bedroom. So it affects the whole household.
The whole household. Their education.
All of that, because they can't.
Their health.
They can't focus.
They can't focus.
And small children are very nervous. They're very timid. I often hear people say that the babies don't laugh. Now, this is a baby. How does he understand the dynamics of what's going on in that household?
Right.
He senses that there's something wrong. But a lot of people want to tell you, well, they're too little to understand. But they know exactly what's going on.
That's not true. They know exactly. And then talk about that a little bit as far as the statistics of the age group the children are affected by.
Well, in 27% of the reported cases of domestic abuse, because we know this is the most underreported crime in America.
It's the most
underreported.
You said that too fast. Slow that one down. That is
underreported crime in America.
Okay.
Domestic abuse.
Okay.
So in 27% of the reported cases, 90% of those cases have children under the ages of 2 years old that are often killed during the dispute. They get in the way of a weapon being thrown, or if the mother falls on the baby, or the child gets in the way and they step on them or trample them. So children are also killed
in the act
during the domestic disputes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow. That is a sad statistics. And 27%?
27% of the reported cases of domestic abuse, babies under the age.
And you know that has to be a high percentage if it's
if you think about all the cases in the country.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay. Okay. So let's delve into like in my really just enjoying, even though this has been a sad journey for your family, but in sensing the admiration you have for your baby sister.
Yeah.
You know, her dress style, I could just see it, just the picture you painted on her flavor, you know.
Yeah. Me, her, and my other sister, we were party dolls. We were always hanging out together. We were sister friends.
Okay.
We hung out together. We went roller skating. We went dancing. You know, we did things that friends did together.
Okay.
And Ina was a great dancer. She liked to laugh and joke. She liked to have a good time. So, you know, I want people to understand, too, you know, she was a person.
Absolutely.
She was a sister. She was a mother.
Yes.
She was a daughter.
Yes.
And our whole family was affected by this thing forever.
Forever.
And we'll never be the same.
Never.
We'll never be the same again.
It's a new normal.
It actually absolutely
Yes,
is. And she's
normal.
still a part of our life. She's still a part of our family. We don't want to not think about her because of the way we lost her. But we want her death to be a lesson for our country that this is a very, very serious crime. And we have to wake up. There are more cases of domestic abuse reported today than ever before in history. There are more resources available. There are more services to help victims. But yet there are more cases of abuse. Why is that?
Why is that? And that is something that your foundation can answer. Because
we are working on that.
Yes, and you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. We don't have a studio audience today, so we would be applauding right now. But you are doing a fabulous job.
Thank you very
and
much.
that is not sensationalism. That is the truth of the matter. Even if it was just one person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we saved one life.
If just absolutely.
And I had to shut it down tomorrow, I would be okay.
Your involvement, your tenacity, and then what I like about the foundation, it's in your sister's name. And then, like I was sharing with you earlier, I lost my brother. It wasn't through violence, but a loss is loss.
Yes,
but I do believe violence takes it to a different type of pain.
It is.
However, I love the fact that you're celebrating your sister's life and not just mourning her death. And that part of the reward out of the justice system that failed her, but the justice system from the true judge says her life is going to get to save somebody else's life.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And there were those people who debated with me about the name of the organization. Okay, Ina Mae Greene does not say anything about domestic violence.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But it's about the message. You know, this is important because Ina was someone's sister.
Yes.
And our objective is to save someone else's sister.
What was the debate?
Well, when you say Ina Mae,
refer you to
it doesn't
help as far as
like
domestic
Susan
violence.
Coleman doesn't refer you to breast cancer.
Right.
But if you hear Susan Coleman, what's the first thing you think
exactly,
about?
breast cancer and the pink ribbon.
In 5 years, when you hear Ina Mae Greene Foundation, you're going to know.
It's going to move your hair.
Yes, this is.
Can you zoom in? The pink little ribbons for the Susan Coleman Foundation.
Right.
And then we have
a flower.
The pink flower. So when you see that, that is representation of help.
Exactly. Domestic violence.
Domestic violence help.
And the logo was designed by Ina's youngest daughter, Latisse. She had to step over her mother's body to go get help.
At 8 years old.
She was 8 years old. She was 8 years old. And so again, you know, and I raised her. None of us could take all 4 of her kids. No one was in that position.
Okay.
So we did have to separate them between my siblings. So we were all still together.
But still together, still in family.
Yes, and we were
no foster care.
Very grateful. We were very, very blessed that didn't have to happen. So the kids still grew up together, even though in different homes. And you know, she had trouble.
Absolutely,
she had a lot of. It was tough.
Okay, she had trouble. She had an encounter that most people do not have to survive.
Absolutely,
she had an experience in her life where she witnessed the death of her mother at the hands of her stepfather.
Yes,
with being the second eldest child, with her 3 siblings in the room.
Yes.
And so, yeah, she had trouble.
She did.
But she survived.
She did. And she grew from that, and she is doing a great job. She loves children. She worked with children. She has a children's ministry, young group ministry at the church she belongs to in Tyler, Texas. And she's doing very well. She helps design all of our pamphlets. She does the artwork for us. She did the book artwork.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And she's doing, and she's a great asset to this organization. And I'm so glad that she's a part of it.
Do you remind her of her mom?
She says sometimes, and we talk about, you know, things that, of course, they were too little to remember, you know, things we used to do as sisters and hanging out and things that are funny that I tell them about their mother. So, yeah, we talk about her a lot.
And so does she remind you of your sister?
In some way, she does. Ina was a jokester, and Latisse is too. Okay. So, yeah, in that way, they are alike.
They are alike.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is a celebrated place also, that you had the honor of giving the standards, because you like you said, you were sister friends,
right?
And so you knew her mom's standards, you knew her morals, her integrity, and the family history, the heritage, and to pass that down, that's awesome. So
it was a blessing, and you know, and after the trouble was over, and she realized that her life was going to go on and it was going to be whole anyway. She says, "Auntie Darlene, thank you. You know, I'm really glad." So,
as far as the infection and affection that children of domestic violence go through, does your foundation offer the help for the children counseling? We refer victims and their children to all the services that they need. What we try to do is connect with different organizations and develop a partnership so that when someone does call us, we know this company, we know this group, we know that they're going to do a good job, we know that they care about the families and that the work could be done. So we're partnering with lawyers and we're partnering with counselors. We have a group, the legal side, the emotional side. We haven't really partnered with the clinic or hospital yet. But we do that through shelter. We work with all the shelters in the Metroplex. All the shelters in the Metroplex. Every one of them. We are connected with them. And we also work with the police victim services. We work very closely with the police departments in the community so that... I'm sorry, can we stay at the shelter? Because I want to stay at the shelter, because what I want to do is put that face on the shelter, because a lot of times, and when we're going to get into that, as far as why don't women leave, and you're going to help give us the tips on why, when not to, what to look for momentarily. But one of the things that I had in my picture in my mind of a shelter was that of a homeless shelter.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what most people think.
And that's what most people think.
When they think shelter, women are embarrassed about it, or they think, it's a fate worse than death. You're in this big dormitory, it's 50 people sleeping in one room, and you have to fight to keep your clothes.
Right.
It's not like that at all.
Okay.
It's more like most shelters, a lot of shelters, especially the bigger ones, they either have bungalow housing or they have apartments.
Okay.
And you may share living spaces. You may share the living room, the kitchen, maybe a family room.
Okay.
But you have your own private living quarters. And the newer shelters like Genesis right here in Dallas, they have actual apartments. The families live in an apartment on their own. Okay. So you're not sharing a room with 50 other families. You have your own privacy.
You have your own privacy.
You get to develop a home life. You get to fix meals for your children.
Okay.
It's not like the world thinks.
Okay. And so with that being said, if you can look into the camera and let there's someone that you're suffering at the hands of an abuser. And today's your day. It's your day for help. Here's the solution.
Absolutely.
And this is, again, Darlene Greene. She is the founder of Ida Mae Greene Foundation. My sisters.
For my sisters.
For my sisters. And so go ahead and give them your website address.
We are at www.idamaegreene.org. You can call us 214-412-3896. We'll help you find shelter. We'll help you find legal help, counseling, anything you need to move away from the abuse. And if you're not ready to leave, we'll help you develop a safety plan. Because as we talked about before, safety planning is very, very important to leaving some relationships because often that's when the abuser becomes more violent. So you have to be very careful when you're deciding to leave. The FBI tells us you have a 75% chance of being murdered. So you have to make sure that when you leave him, you know where you're going, you know how you're going to get there, you know how you're going to sustain yourself if you're not working. Have a plan, and we'll help you with that. If we can't help you, we'll connect you with an organization that can help you. But there is a way out. There is a way out. You don't have to stay. You don't have to be abused.
And we're going to leave you with that final note. There is a way out. And please, we are here. We have the resources here for you. And the bottom line is help has come your way.
Absolutely.
And Darlene, I so thank you. I thank you again for this opportunity to be a voice.
Thank you.
For those of the voiceless, to be help for those who are feeling helpless and hopeless. And I bid you Godspeed, my sister.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Darlene, give us a tour of some of the resources, the information package available. I see you have it in pamphlet form, bracelet form, ribbon form, T-shirt form, and book form. So all the resources are available. Give us some description of a couple of them here.
We know information is the key, and we want to provide information to women who need the help. So we have a safety plan for college students and high school students. It really gives them something to think about if they're in a bad situation and they don't know how to get out. It's kind of a workbook so they can work their way through the thought process of getting help.
Great.
We have a pay attention pamphlet. We really are proud of this one because it really does give women signs and things to look for in a relationship.
Awesome.
12 ways to tell if your partner can become an abuser, types of abusive men. And this is all food for thought because we want women to be aware of their relationships and the people they're being involved with.
Okay.
We have a teen dating pamphlet. Actually, for me, this is more for parents than for the teens because it really also, again, makes the parents think about the possibilities if their child is behaving differently.
So are there telltale signs that the parents can look for?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If they're not hanging out with their friends or if they don't want to do after-school activities that they were very interested in, if they're not hanging out with their family like they used to. I mean, if their behavior is different, grades are dropping, clothes different, they're dressing differently. These are things that you want to pay attention to. And you also want to make sure that you're comfortable with a dialogue with your daughter or your son about their dating life. So we give some information to parents on how to open a dialogue with their children about their relationships. And we want to encourage parents to listen.
To listen. That's the operative word.
Not react. So that
respond and not react. Listen, respond, and not react.
We don't want the child to back away from talking to their parent about their problem.
Well, let's talk about one of many items, but let's just point out your book, Just grab that and hold that up.
When you live in fear, how to get out of a relationship that is killing you. I wrote this book because I do believe that my sister died because she didn't know how to leave her violent marriage. So I put together a how-to. Okay. How to find shelter, how to ask for help, how to determine if you're in a violent relationship. Some people don't even know that they're being victimized. They just think it's the way it is.
It's the way it is. Well, thank you. And the name of the book is When You Live in Fear. Again, visit the website. Give us the website again, Darlene.
www.inamagreene.org.
Help is here. Thank you.